All right. So I finished doing the new Tower of Adversity, and I must say it's not easy. It's pretty difficult. I'm gonna be showing you guys my runs because yeah, I literally have cramps in my fingers at the moment from the amount of clicking, and yeah, you just like have to be very precise, and also like you have to really bring out your best sort of like rotations in order to get the best of each character that you have. Like any mistake can actually affect like your rotation, and also can ruin your run, especially in the fourth one. I feel like if you don't have enough damage, you're probably going to be missing a 1 or 2. I'm not a big fan of like sort of like the buffs, because the buffs are really specific now. That's what they changed about it, I would say. And it kind of sucks for the old characters. So maybe this is going to be a reason for them to buff the old characters. I would say like the first 2 are probably the old sort of like towers, because they're pretty easy. But these 2 are the most difficult ones. So you have to like to be very, very good. I found myself like sort of rethinking my rotations, and also like finding the best rotations for each team, especially for the Augusta team. I'm not really used to those rotations, but yeah, I'm kind of gonna run some tests and see some old characters, maybe Zhezhi and stuff. But I feel like those characters are kind of like they fell off entirely. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna be running the sort of like the runs right now, so you guys like get an idea. All right, the Fosse of No Return. This boss is quite difficult, but is not as difficult as the other stages. But still, like, he moves a lot. But the main idea that here is, or the rotation is going to be evolved around using Kartathia's heavy attack, switching to Rover, using his skill 3 times, and then switch to Chaikuna, and then you're going to be using her basic attack once, and then you're going to be using the skill Echo, switching back to Kartathia for basic attacks, and then you're going to be switching back to Rover, using his Liberation skill plus the Forte plus Echo, and then you switch to Chakuna. When you switch back to Chakuna, you're going to be using her basic attack twice, and then you're going to be using the Forte skill, and then Liberation, and then finally you're going to be finishing with Kartathia. When you switch to Kartathia, you're probably going to be using your skill, and then you're going to be using your Echo, and then finish up with Liberation, and then 5 basic attacks, and then you're going to be switching, you're going to be using the basic attack with the Liberation 5 times. Well, it's pretty difficult to like to keep all of that information while doing while focusing on dodging and also like blocking. So you guys are going to be seeing like me struggling quite much, like keeping up at the moment, because yeah, it's just like very, very intense. And there we go, we finished like the run there. Pretty okay in the time. It's not perfect, but yeah, let's move on to the next one. This one, I don't know, it's like the TOA like feels more and more like the WutheringWaves at the moment. But yeah, it is what it is. We're going to be using the same rotation here. So yeah, this one, I don't know if I struggled as much, but yeah, you have to like to focus so much on dodging the boss as well, because the boss does attack you like excessively, and also like does grab you a couple of times, so you have to like to keep that in mind as well. But other than that, this one was super straightforward. Killed the first like what are they called, mobs at the beginning, or the mob waves, which were the ones that took so much, honestly. But yeah, like this one has a lot of HP, but if you line it up pretty good with the end here, you probably can ult it and do a lot of damage to the boss at the same time. You see there, I did like about 1/4 of his HP there, and I broke his shield, which gave me the window to sort of like carry on the rotation. But yeah, the rotation here is not perfect, because I haven't used Kartathia for quite some time. I think I haven't used her since her release, sort of. I've been using Zhezhi quite a bit, and also I've been like using Augusta at the moment. But this boss wasn't the most difficult one. Yeah, if you finish the previous towers, you're probably going to be able to finish this one, because it's basically the same stages. So yeah, it's like I didn't even bother to grapple and hit him from the back to interrupt like him getting the shield, because yeah, I had plenty of time and I'm not like planning to break the record. All right, next one is going to be I would say one of the difficult ones. But yeah, we're going to be using the Augusta team for this one, plus Mortify, plus the Shorekeeper. I've been working on this rotation and getting it a little bit better here and there, but it's still not perfect. I wouldn't say like it's the best out there. But yeah, you're going to be starting off with Augusta. You're going to be using her Echo, switching to the Shorekeeper, using all of her sort of like basic attacks, and then using her Resonance Liberation, and then you're going to be using her Echo, switching back to Mortify. You're going to be using her Echo plus a basic attack, and then switching to Augusta using her skill. And then you're going to be using her heavy attack, and then Echo, and then switching back to Mortify using his Resonance Liberation, and then you're going to be using his Resonance skill a couple of times to fill up that Concreto energy. And then once you are done with that, you're going to be switching back to Augusta, and then you're going to be blasting him off pretty much, because you're going to be using her heavy attack, and then you're going to be using her skill. Yeah, you're going to be using her skill, and then you're going to be using her Resonance Liberation in order to do the damage with her ultimate. But yeah, this boss is pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie, because yeah, you have to like to go through a lot of rotations if you don't have Augusta build up, honestly. But you guys are going to be seeing a lot of big damage from Augusta here, and I love the fact that she does that much. You're going to be seeing a burst damage here. Yeah, we're going to be doing the same rotation here. We're back to Mortify. I got grabbed there, unfortunately, but it's not going to be affecting the run as much, so I kept it in. I didn't even bother to like to sort of like redo it, honestly. But yeah, I skipped that one there, and then yeah, I switched back to Augusta, and then I got the ultimate, so I'm going to be using the ultimate there. And look at this damage, it's just like super clean, even though that it's like I didn't have the perfect rotation at the end. Like it worked out. So yeah, this one wasn't the most difficult one, because I believe this one was my second run. Yeah, I think this was my second or my third run. So yeah, even though that it wasn't perfect there, I just like kept it in, honestly, because yeah, you don't expect like people to like to do the perfect rotation. All right, the next run is going to be the Zhezhi team, and it's my favorite team, honestly. And I would say like this is pretty much like the easiest rotation there. You're going to be starting with Zhezhi, as you guys saw there. You're going to be using her basic attack once, and then switching to Phoebe. You're going to hold the skill, Liberation, and then starting like ending up with the Echo before switching to Verena. You're going to be using 5 basic attacks, and then skill, and then Echo, and then Liberation, ending up with the Forte out. And then you're going to be switching back to Phoebe, and then skill, basic attack 3 times, and then heavy attack, basic attack 3 times, and then heavy attack out. And then you're going to be finishing up with Zhezhi using the Echo. I prefer using the skill there to get like the attack buff, but some people does skip the skill entirely in order to like to make her rotation faster. And then you're just going to be ulting with Zhezhi, and then you just like do the combo pretty much, but it's pretty straightforward. You just like have to like to do it a couple of times, because yeah, there is a couple of bosses here. My only advice for this stage is going to be, maybe if you try to like to keep the boss in the middle, you can actually get an extra attack on the boss, the next boss that is supposed to be coming, or the next wave of the boss. So as you guys see here, or you're about to see, the boss is in the middle, and then when the Lempi Lumen comes out, I happen to like to do probably like 1/5 of his HP the moment he comes out, and that's like basically gain me a little bit of time. And if I screw up like sort of like the rotation here and there, or I don't sort of like dodge in time, that sort of like helps a little bit. But yeah, pretty much straightforward here. But yeah, even though that it was difficult, it was fun to go back to your characters and sort of like min-max everything. I worked like a little bit on the stats, and also like worked out on leveling up the weapons and making sure the weapons are in the right place, and also probably like leveling up the forte and the skills and stuff like that. So yeah, it was kind of fun. It was difficult, but yeah, it was fun. Something that I forgot to like to say also, in the Shorekeeper run with Augusta, I did forget to like to put her signature on. So yeah, it made the rotation a little bit like awkward, but still it worked out.
I call upon the sentinel.
I don't have all day.
So yeah, there we have it. Next is going to be the normal stages. This guy was a bit annoying, honestly, because yeah, when you're doing this rotation with Augusta, sometimes you get grabbed as you're about to like to switch. So make sure to like to, yeah, there's the grab. I happened to dodge it there, but I did get caught. There's another grab there as well. So yeah, he's a bit annoying because he interrupts your rotation. But other than that, this one is pretty straightforward because yeah, it's one of the old stages or the old towers. So yeah, this one is straightforward. You just like have to like to dodge the grab and don't get interrupted, especially if you don't have S2 Augusta there. But I happen to like to have S2 Augusta, so her skills doesn't get interrupted as much. But yeah, this one was pretty straightforward there, and then we just like nuke him.
All right, now we are up to the fun stuff. Now we have Hack Day. I can't believe they added Hack Day to the tower as well, because Hack Day is a pretty difficult boss, honestly.
Sentinel protects me.
Well, yeah, this one is pretty straightforward, honestly. It's nothing too difficult. I use the Zhezhi team here, and it's pretty much the same rotation here. We're going to be using Rowena and Phoebe as a support slash support, because Zhezhi does rely on that negative status or the phrasal. So yeah, this one was pretty straightforward. We nuked him or killed him pretty fast, as you guys can see here. So yeah, this team is pretty fun to like to play because you have the shield, you have the heals, and you also have the block mechanic. So if you are struggling with the game like this or the bosses, this team is pretty straightforward. She does have her signature weapon. Sadly, like if you don't have her signature weapon, I don't feel like she is that good, because she scales on HP and her signature weapon does give you a lot of HP. So yeah. Augusta is such a cool character. Yeah, I just felt like I talked a lot during this video, so I'm just showing you guys the echoes. I guess like there is a lot of work like to do in this character, but yeah, she's really fun. But yeah, this is like the S2 that I've talked about. She doesn't get interrupted. I believe it's S1 maybe she doesn't get interrupted. Yeah, there you go. You don't get interrupted as much anymore. Zhezhi S2 as well. Crit rate, crit damage. But yeah, it's like even if you don't have like S2, you should be able to like clear it with not an issue. If you have the signature weapons, I believe like you do need the signature weapon now. But I could be mistaken there. I think there is a lot of people that are crazy at the game, so you need more energy here. I don't have the right echo set here, I believe. Yeah, I do, yeah. But yeah, it worked out fine, I think. As long as you have more than 160, 170 energy, it should work fine. And then we have the Shorekeeper, which I forgot to... I actually forgot to like put her signature weapon. So she was with a level 1 weapon the whole time, but it worked out somehow. Yeah, I was wondering why she's taking so long, honestly, but yeah. And then we have Verena. With Verena, I do prefer the variation here, and then it's literally the same set that I have on the healing set that I have on the Shorekeeper. I just use on her. I did like level up these ones a little bit because they were like level 3s and stuff like that. So now, and yeah, you can tell like I got her quite many times if you played the game from the start. All right, there you have it. That's like sort of like the team that I used to like to clear it up. It was quite difficult, but yeah, we went through it. Let me know which teams did you guys use to finish it up, and yeah, because I'm just like kind of curious. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Subscribe.